Welcome to the Mastering the Game podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine Harris. In the Mastering the Game podcast, we discuss the latest gaming news and talk about our favorite games. Last week was the PlayStation Showcase for 2023. There were lots of games that came up, including Helldivers 2, Immortals of Aveum, and Ghost Runner 2. All of them look pretty interesting. However, in this episode, I'm going to be focusing on a couple of the bigger games. Assassin's Creed Mirage is my favorite game that they showed in the showcase. I've been a big fan of Assassin's Creed since the very first one came out, I believe in 2006 or maybe 7. And since then, I really stuck to the more stealth-focused entries. So I played, obviously, the original and then the Ezio trilogy, which I believe was 2, 3, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, if I'm not mistaken. I definitely prefer the more stealth-focused version of Assassin's Creed compared to the more open-world, grandiose action-adventure game that we'll see in the more modern Assassin's Creed, like with Odyssey or Valhalla. Don't get me wrong, those games definitely have merit. Just personally speaking, I like an Assassin's Creed game that's a bit more stealth focused, but I can absolutely see why people would enjoy the larger games. To me, I have limited time to play games oftentimes, so I would rather stick to some open world things, but I like to be able to really knock out a story and not be sort of weighed down by a lot of extra side quests, that don't really add to the game, but they just make things a bit more tedious to actually go through the game. However, I am looking forward to the game releasing later this year, since it's more of a return to form. I think the launch date is going to be October 12th, and I'm probably going to get it around that time, if not a little bit afterwards. I know that Ubisoft games tend to have issues at launch, so I'm probably going to give them a couple of days to really sort out those issues after launch, and then I'll go ahead and get the game myself. I'm thinking about doing a walkthrough on my gaming channel, Unleash Pro Plays. There's my shameless plug. So if you're listening to this on YouTube already, congratulations, you're probably there right now. Otherwise, if you're listening to this on a service like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, Unleash Pro Plays, where I play through lots of different video games, and I also post my podcast episodes there as well. Another game that came up was Spider-Man 2. I haven't actually finished the Spider-Man 2018 game or the Miles Morales game that came out after that. So I didn't want to get myself hyped up for a game that I'm not going to play for a while. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, consider leaving a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast service. And also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Unleash Pro Plays, where you can watch our latest gaming videos.